In my final year of law school, I was not sure where I wanted to be, except I knew I wanted to work for the federal government. But options were far and few back in 2002, until I stumbled upon a brochure about the Presidential Management, what was then called the Presidential Management Internship Program. I took the exam, the oral, the presentation, and the written, and somehow managed to pass and gained a job and placement at the Missile Defense Agency for about 9 months, which was my home agency, and then eventually ended at the White House Office of Counsel to the President, dealing with government ethics and the Office of Government Ethics itself. The person who was most instrumental in all of my successes, who planted the deep roots and seeds, was my first boss, the late Rear Admiral David M. Altwegg. He was fiercely generous with his time, his contacts, and sharing his knowledge. He took me to senior level meetings, made sure I sat at the table, and also counseled me on next steps in my career, who I should meet, who I should talk to, and made me straighten my shoulders, breathe deeply, and be proud of who I am, an American serving in the U.S. federal government. Eventually, he told me that I was too entrepreneurial and too gung-ho for the federal government, and that before I continued to serve in federal government, it may be better for me to go a couple of years in the private sector. Well, I'm still in the private sector after my presidential management internship / fellowship ended, but I shall not forget the kindness and stern generosity of Mr. Altwegg. I can't ever repay him for his mentorship, for his sponsorship, for his firm belief in me, even when I didn't believe in myself. But I can pass on that spirit of generosity, of can-do, of nurturing others and building roots and networks, and being reverse mentored, because he always asked me about how to operate his computer, by others now, as I am a digital immigrant and not a digital native in the ways of the current world of IT. People have asked me why the Presidential Management Internship and Fellowship programs are so important. Not only are they a fast track to the senior executive service, but having a strong government full of talented, vibrant people and employees is so crucial to ensuring that our society runs well. Because as we have so learned, we are all interconnected, and one part is weak, all the parts become weak. It is important for all of us in the private and public sectors to support government, to make sure that it is flourishing, and to make sure that the purpose of government to protect and to serve its citizens is fully executed. Mr. Altwegg taught me that leadership is about serving everyone, your superiors, your peers, and yes, even your subordinates. Everyone was loyal to Mr. Altwegg, not because he demanded it, but because he earned it. He was the first one in the office at 6 in the morning and the last one to leave at 7 p.m. in the evening. The kind of dedication that he demonstrated, the interconnectivity that he saw in the world, his ability to converse with anyone of any culture at any level made him so unique. And for that, I thank the Presidential Management Fellowship Program and all the public servants who make relationships possible, mentorships possible, sponsorships possible. So don't forget to check out the Presidential Management Fellowship Program.